মোটামুটি ঠিক আছে না?
স্টার্ট
স্টার্ট। ওকে, আমাদের স্টুডেন্ট আসছে,
আস্তে আস্তে
আস্তে ইনক্রিজ হবে। হ্যাঁ, স্টার্ট করতে। Hello, dear student. Very good morning to you all. Those who are already with us and who will come, welcome to you all in today's class. This is Dr. Mufakhar Islam from E&D department. We are hoping that all of you are staying safe at your own places. Today we'll discuss on a new topics in area. It is on idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss. Earlier, this term was supposed to say sudden sensory neural hearing loss, but nowadays it has been changed as idiopathic sudden sensory hearing loss. Basically, it is an otological emergency. There are a number of diseases which are practically very, you have to deal with very emergency basis. Among them, it is one of them. That is idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss. Before we start to our topics, I'm telling you that it is concerned with the inner ear. So as you know, all of you know about the inner ear. Now I want to go for what is the definition. Definition of the previous one, that is sudden sensory neural hearing loss, as the rapid onset occurring over a 72 hours period of a subjective sensation of hearing impairment on both or one ear. Having with this, you need to the audiometric criteria of a 30 decibel sensory neural hearing loss in at least 3 consecutive frequencies. I'm again mention that the sudden sensory hearing loss is nothing but one that rapid onset occurring over a period of 72 hours and which have subjective sensation of hearing impairment on one or both ears. Of course, you have to an evidence of the audiometric criteria where you will get the 30 decibel sensory neural hearing loss in at least 3 consecutive frequencies. Later, it has been changed to idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss, which defined as the idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss with no identifiable cause in spite of thorough investigation. Then you can say it is idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss. Now, what are the causes? There are a number of causes, I think, to develop this sort of pathology. Among them, some of are we have already listed. You will see next few slides. These are infectious traumatic, neoplastic, autoimmune, toxic, some circulatory disease, neurologic, metabolic. These are the broad line headed causes. Among them, number of diseases or conditions are enlisted. Here these are. Among the infectious disease, you have to know this group of disease causes sensory neural hearing loss, which sometimes comes as idiopathic sudden sensory hearing loss. The causes of infectious disease are listed as meningococcal meningitis, encephalitis, herpes group of or herpes family diseases. These are herpes simplex, herpes zoster, varicella, cytomegalovirus, these and that. Now, other viruses are mumps, measles, HIV, rubella, and syphilis, toxoplasmosis infection as well. Then traumatic causes. The number of conditions where neural hearing loss may be anticipated. Among them, barotrauma, one of the important factors or cause, and perineum fistula, intense noise exposure, in-ear decompression sickness, temporal bone fracture, and then finally ear surgery. Among the ear surgery, stapedectomy is one of the popular surgery, but it may cause sometimes this sort of undue scenario, means neural hearing loss. And then the neoplastic causes. As we all know, it is a disease of inner ear, and the inner ear is finally connect with the CP angle for producing the hearing mechanism, and number of diseases may seen in the CP angle. These are acoustic neuroma or meningioma. Sometimes it may leads to sensory neural hearing loss. The other neoplastic condition is leukemia, myeloma. And then number of autoimmune diseases where you will get some ear findings with sudden sensory neural hearing loss. These diseases includes Weisner granulomatosis, rheumatoid disease, Sjogren's syndrome, polyarteritis nodosa, lupus, ulcerative colitis, Sjogren's syndrome, sarcoid, and sometimes autoimmune ear diseases. And now another important cause, which basically we are facing or practicing life very common. Commonly we are seeing, we can see in this condition because these drugs are very available in our market, which are popularly used in different conditions of the medical scenario. Among them, number one is aminoglycoside antibiotics, which may cause sometimes sudden sensory neural hearing loss or neural hearing loss. And then the loop diuretics and NSAIDs, salicides. Sometimes general anesthesia may cause neural hearing loss. So we have to know some knowledge about these conditions or about these drugs. Few more circulatory disease which may cause sometimes sudden sensory neural hearing loss. Among them, vascular disease, vertebrovascular insufficiency, red blood cell deformity, sickle cell disease, cardiopulmonary bypass. Sometimes this type of patient may go to the neurology department, and of course they are to be evaluated about the neurological concern. Some of the neurological conditions which may causes neural hearing loss. Among them are multiple sclerosis, focal pontine ischemia, and migraine is one of the important causes. Finally, metabolic cause. These are the very common conditions we are facing in our day-to-day life practice and even our own houses. Among them, diabetes, sometimes thyrotoxicosis, and hyperlipidemia. So these are the basically causes to develop sensory neural hearing loss. And now, how to assess about this type of patient or how to deal and how to diagnose. For proper diagnosing of this patient, you need to go for thorough history taken. This history includes there are some particular points which to be covered during taking history. Among them, number one is the onset of hearing loss. Whether it is very short duration or having a long while or moderate time consuming or time passing. The fact is there you have to be noted. Sudden onset of blockage or fullness of air require prompt investigation because it is an otological emergency, as you know by this time, because I have mentioned it earlier. If the patient having increasing profound hearing loss in and on some documentation, the prognosis will be poorer. So, prompt for the betterment of prompt diagnosis, you need to make focus about the timing. Unilateral hearing loss is commoner, but can happen in both ears. Where you can see this scenario in autoimmune disease or some ototoxic condition. That scenario you can see bilateral hearing loss. If the hearing loss associated with the tremor symptoms like tinnitus, vertigo, dizziness, and oral fullness, it is you have to strike your mind that it may lead to endolymphatic hydrops. Well, vertigo is the symptoms which indicates a poor prognostic indicator. Other history to be taken with every emphasis, which includes trauma, training, diving, flying, and intense noise exposure should be noted. Patients should be asked about previous or concurrent viral infection. You have to take the history of previous year surgery or not, and a full drug history should be taken. So these are the history or scenario you may get or you may face in your outpatient or inpatient department. To get this scenario, you have to examine the patient. The examination should go for the thorough, which includes head and neck examination, and of course autologic or autoscopic evaluation of the ear for excluding medullary fusion, infection, cholesteatoma, and wax infection, and then go for the tuning fork test, which distinguish a conductive hearing loss from a sensory neural hearing loss. Then fistula test to be done to exclude about the perineum fistula. After that, you need to go for the thorough neurological examination for excluding the cranial nerves and cerebral related diseases. These are the examination findings you will get if you go through the proper examination of the head and neck as well as other part of the body. And then investigations. A number of investigation sometimes you may require to go for. Here I mention the classical or gold standard investigation, which may give you almost conclusive diagnostic points. So these are the classical investigations. Number one is audiometric evaluation. And then MRI scan with gadolinium enhancement. Forget about the gadolinium. Just please mention about the MRI scan in your exam. If patient have pacemaker or other metallic implants where MRI is contraindicated, in that issues you can go for the CT scan of the temporal bone with contrast. Among this investigation, one and the investigation is the audiometry. in audiometry, we have to go for the photon audiometry and the speech reception threshold. Now, see, I just share my screen with you with a picture where I placed a audiometric figure. This is normal findings. You see here no deviation of the curve. It is almost flat on either ear. There is a blue and a green line. You see both are almost in the same plane. No changes. So that we can say it is the normal PTA findings. But as we tell earlier that the PTA findings will goes down at least 30 decibel in the documentation. Here I will see. In this picture, you will see the audiometric evaluation. The total, both the lines, one is red color, another is blue color, which goes, both of them are goes down on the right side of the picture, means high frequency hearing loss. Sometimes it may go down to the left side even. It means low frequency hearing loss can be seen in the audiometry, but more or less commonly seen in the right side. It means high frequency hearing loss. Here you just see hearing loss is documented as even down to 80 decibel or all around. So if you get the findings in PTA about this picture, means the patient prognostic indication is poor because it is profound. It goes down to severe to profound hearing loss. What are the other investigation may be included? Though these are the tests not done in routine practice, but sometimes you may require to go for. Among them, ESR, urea, electrolytes, lipid profile, glucose, thyroid function test, clotting screen, VDRL, serology for Lyme disease, autoantibodies, may require or may requested if clinically indicated. But these are the not, these are investigation are not done routinely. In exam, you just mention about audiometry, MRI scan, or even the CT scan of the temporal bone. But for proper evaluating of the patient, you need to go for, sometimes these are investigations to be done. Now, as you diagnose the patient is suffering from the sudden sensory neural hearing loss, then you have to start the treatment. Now, what are the treatments? As we are telling that it is a condition of idiopathic so number of treatment has been proposed for countering about this condition. Among them, number one is steroids. is both anti-inflammatory and immune suppression as well. Now, steroids is using as the treatment for countering this disease. Number of way or number of steroids can be used. Among the steroids, hydrocortisone, dexamethasone, prednisolone, methylprednisolone, number of drugs are there. We all can use these steroids either orally, sometimes through tympanic membrane. It's called intratympanic steroid placement. Basically, as it is an emergency condition, pathological emergency condition, patients sometimes may have severe stress because they're telling us, doctor, I can hear for the last couple of hours or even last couple of days. It's really very embarrassing. Uh, I want to get relief from this condition. Please help me. That means I can be read the patient. The patient is on severe stress. Well, any sort of stress condition, number of steroid has been released in internally. Body internally release the number of steroids, which itself may causes sometimes trouble. At the same time, you are giving steroid externally. It means steroid, steroid, and steroid. So these steroid may cause sometimes some complications. And I'm sure that by this time you came to know about the complication of the steroid. So I don't want to mention it today. If you have any query, let me know after the classes. No problem. So about the treatment, preferable treatment is steroid. How to give you the steroid? Basically, 1 milligram. We prefer 1 milligram per kg body weight. Sometimes it may reach up to 30, 40, even 60. So how long to be prescribed for the steroid? It depends. Sometimes for 1 week, sometimes for even 2 weeks. What are the routes to use these drugs? It can use either by orally or intratympanically, sometimes by both ways. The number of studies are there. Some groups are telling oral prednisone or oral steroid is enough. Few groups are telling the one oral steroid is not enough. Better to use intratympanic steroid, which will give more benefit. So these are the way you can use. But to me, I recommend oral steroids. If the condition is not improving after 24 hours to 48 hours, then you can place intratympanic steroid as well. Other proposed treatment have been enlisted here with. These are antiviral agents. Among the antiviral agents, acyclovir and valsaclovir is very popularly used. And number of vasodilators which can be used for treating this condition as well. And other drugs are volume expanders, hemodilators, calcium antagonists, and sometimes iron, vitamins, protein, hyperbaric oxygen, ginkgo biloba, zinc. These are the drugs which may improve this condition, but not proven still. As we don't know about the particular cause, so the treatment option will also be opened. So these are the drugs which are popularly used across the world. I have listed in the slide here. Of course, a, it is taken from a referral authentic books. I'm telling about some newer term here, the use of hyperbaric oxygen. So some pathology may be thinking to develop about the sudden sensory neural hearing loss, where some of author or some of new scientists are thinking the oxygen consumption or the aeration of the inner ear may sometimes interrupted by any way, which may cause necrosis of the cochlea or surrounding areas. In that regards, they are proposed to use the hyperbaric oxygen. So these are the new term you have to know, because hyperbaric oxygen, it's their thinking that this may improve the oxygenation in that particular area, which improve the uh, pathological condition so far. How and what's the way? Forget this. Just know about the hyperbaric oxygen, which sometimes used to treat this condition. The other hormones, that means vitamins, irons, sometimes few patients are coming having with this deficiency, and as we mentioned earlier, this deficiency may causes hearing loss. So better to use these, because these are the things which can be used very frequently with less complications, more or less comparatively safe. That's why these drugs are popularly used in our OPD practice in a day to day. And then prognosis. There are some particular points which will have to keep your mind for improve your prognosis about the patients having with the idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss. What are those? Four factors have been shown to affect recovery from the idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss. Number one is time of onset. My dear students, I am telling and I am focusing about the time of onset again and again, because this is the condition that is sometimes very time framing. If you lose the time of your patient may lose the ear forever. That means patient's ear may develop dead ear. So you have to focus about your timing to manage this condition. And the age, more the age, more the poor prognosis. If the patient age is above 60, prognosis is not favored to him. And vertigo, if the patient having the neural hearing loss with vertigo, it means it's a poor prognostic indicator. In audiogram, if you see downward sloping audiogram, more and more frequencies, more or more consecutions, it means the poor prognosis. And recovery and improvement. How do we assess the patient is doing well? The number of ways are there through which you can observe the patient recovery or improvement. Improvement may be divided as complete, partial, or even no recovery. So how can we assess the complete improvement? If patient hearing improvement is within 10 decibel of pre-sudden hearing loss, hearing levels in the P2 audiometry, that means it indicates the patient's condition is recovered very well, almost normal level. If the follow-up Q2 audiometry or speech reception threshold improve to within 50% of the pre-sudden hearing loss, indicates partial improvement, means not satisfactory, but it's good. Because if you compare with the no recovery, some improvement is sometimes is acceptable. And if the PTA findings or speech reception threshold was less than 50% of recovery sudden hearing loss, hearing level, it means the patient condition is very bad, means no recovery at all is seen. Totally frustrating result after all sort of treatments is sometimes seen. Why? Because we cannot know the exact cause yet. So number of treatment have been used. After using number of treatment, sometimes you won't get even any recover. And these are all about the idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss. I have tried to cover almost everything from uh, definition to the prognosis. I hope that you can go through well. If I recapitulate it again, see what we have read today. Number one is definition. Before to start definition, we mentioned it is an autological emergency. You have to know. I'm again telling you that it is an autological emergency. Then in definition, we mentioned earlier it was said as sudden sensory neural hearing loss. Now it is converted to idiopathic sudden sensory neural hearing loss. Why it is so called? Because there is no identifying cause in spite of thorough investigation. Etiology, number of possible causes are there. These are that infectious, traumatic, neoplastic, autoimmune, toxic, circulatory, neurologic, metabolic, and these and that. After that, you have to go for the assessment of the patient by taking a thorough clinical history, And then his, within the history, you have to know about the trauma, steering, diving, flying, previous history of viral infection, then whether the patient thanks sir, whether the patient is suffering from unilateral bilateral hearing problems. শেষ করি এখানে। Sorry. And if patient is having with the vertigo, it means is a poor uh, prognosis indicator. And then how to examine the patient if patient having with this condition. You have to go for the complete headache neck evaluation, which includes otoscopic examination, tuning fork test, fistula test, number of neurological test assessment to be done, the final investigations. And in investigation, you have to mention audiometry. Audiometry. You have to have mentioned in your exam. And of course, you will be asked very frequently in your exam if you get a question from these disease. So other investigation are MRI, sometimes CT scan of the temporal bone to be done. And I have mentioned it in a good picture where I have shown a normal PT findings and then the disease PT findings here on. So the treatment, just mention about the steroid, antiviral agents, hyperbaric oxygen, calcium antagonist, sometimes vitamin, iron, protein, ginkgo biloba, and zinc also be used for treating this disease. After treating the disease, we have to go for the follow-up for make sure about the prognosis of the patient. It includes time onset, age, vertigo, audiogram findings to be listed. So these are all in today's lecture. Hopefully, you can follow me with your full concentration. Now, thanking you very much by heart to all of you, and hope to see you next class with the new topics. And if you have any query about today's topics, let me know either by making a phone call or even you may put a question on the page or on the class webinar, then I can go for. I'll see. I'll try to my best to give you the answer. I feel so bad then I cannot come in contact with all of you, my dear students, because the present scenario is not still good and we are facing a number of troubles across the world. And I hope you are staying in safe, and I am praying all of are staying safe as well. My heartfelt congratulations to you all that you are attending in the web classes. Sometimes it's so boring because this one-way deliberation, no interaction is there. That's why I know it's sometimes it's not so smooth. However, we have to continue our running. We have to continue our reading process until the pandemic situation is settled down. Thank you. Thank you very much. हाँ को बोला सा है ना